What's up, good people? Let me know that you can hear me in the chat by typing questions. Put questions in the chat because when it comes to this story, I don't know about y'all, but I got more questions than answers. It looks like we have great news that Carlee Nicole Russell has been found or has resurfaced, come home. She's been admitted to the hospital and is back at home, even recuperating with her family, which is great news because when we heard about this story a couple days ago, really it kind of just went viral yesterday, but heard about the story, it wasn't looking great, but we were very hopeful and prayerful, and prayers were answered. So we should all be happy. I should have said, let's put rejoice. Now, there's a lot to this, and I was going to cover this story yesterday. I was going to go live with y'all. I had put my notes together and all that, but y'all know I like to deep dive. I like to do too much research. And by the time I got done, I was tired, and I didn't feel like getting on live. And then today, when I woke up, because I'm like, okay, I'll go live some point today. I'm gonna wrap up a couple things with the, pulling the images and all that videos for y'all. All of a sudden, she found. I wasn't online yesterday, so I didn't know that came up last night that she was found. And I'm like, okay, well, this is beautiful news. But then all of this other stuff started coming out, and yeah, it's been very interesting. So I decided versus going to, pushing it to tomorrow, because I honestly almost didn't have the energy again. I took an evening nap and I was like, let me just go. I gotta be with my people. We gotta talk about this because this story is just like a lot. And the longer I wait, the more is happening. So anyway, and the more I have to redo my notes. So anyway, I did put in the chat, thank you to the 95% of you who have hit that like button on your way in, the thumbs up. If you haven't, please do as soon as you can. And also don't forget that you can subscribe to this channel for more. We have more stories, and I've spent the weekend working on a ton of stories. I got like 6 or 7 stories we will be doing this coming week. Like they're pretty much ready to roll, which is good. So y'all be saying a lot of me this coming week. So and then I put it in the poll if you're a night owl. I was just trying to get a poll. So 69% of y'all said not yes, 30% said no. I was trying to take the post because part of me was like, ooh, I'm getting on so late, but I need to get this out. And I was like, y'all can watch it on the replay if y'all not night owls. But thank you to everyone who's viewing. And I'm gonna do another poll. Y'all know how I do. I do polls as we go through the story. First, we're gonna talk about the updates on the story because I'm pretty sure many of you have been keeping up with this story. And so we'll start with the updates that maybe you've heard, maybe you've seen, maybe you haven't. And then we'll move into basically just talking about, how we feel about the story, new developments, speculations, all that stuff, the gossip part of it. So basically, for those of you who may not be familiar, this young lady, Carlethia, Carlee Nicole Russell, went missing on, what was it, Friday? I forgot, y'all, whatever date, the 14th. She was in her vehicle. She called 911. She was on the interstate 495, if I'm not mistaken, 493. And she was saying that she saw a toddler on the highway and called 911, interstate 459. She saw a toddler on the interstate. She pulled over. She got off the phone with 911, got on the phone with her brother's girlfriend or fiance, because I keep hearing different versions of who the lady is or the relation. But anyway, she was on the phone with her. They said that they heard her mom ended up getting on the phone as well. They heard her call out to the toddler. They don't know if it was a boy or a girl. Next thing you know, they hear her scream. They hear some scuffling, and then nothing. And the police actually came fairly quickly. We have the video. We'll play a little bit of it because I'm sure many of you have seen that as well. But the police came within minutes. It was very quickly. And anyway, so she was missing, but her car was there. Car was running. Her wig was there. Phone was there, etc. but no trace of her. And then pop up, and as of last night, she shows up at her home, and that's where we're at. So now the family is just updating, saying that she is home. The emergency police, and EMTs, etc., arrived at the home after she showed up, and the parents called to say she was there, or the family called to say she was there. They took her to the hospital, all that good stuff. And then she's been released, and she's back home. And the family is now asking for privacy. They're saying, let her recover, but also us, because they have been up for the past 3 days, etc. So anyway, we'll get deeper into that. But 91%, oh wow, yeah, 91% of you said that you have been following this story. I figured as much. But yeah, so we know that there are more questions than answers. Now I'll say, out of the 91% of you have been following this story. Out of the 91% of you, are you just as lost with what's happening as I still am? But anyway, so we have the mom. We have the mom's update for those of you who may not have seen it. So the mom ended up putting out. Well, I'll do this. Well, no, we can do this. So the mom, who did a couple press conferences, and she was on her social media, on her Facebook, giving updates, asking for help, et cetera, et cetera. And so she ended up posting this morning: "Great morning. My husband and I wanted to make this statement again, as we did last night. It's nothing more to add or take away from how we're feeling right now. God is faithful, and He has answered our prayers. We are so grateful to each of you for all the acts of kindness, generosity, and compassion you've shown. Our baby is safe. Thank you, Father God. We do want our daughter and each other with our close family and friends. Also, please consider the fact we have not slept for 3 nights, and we're mentally and physically exhausted. To our media friends, I promise we will speak with you and give a general statement in the near future, as this is an ongoing investigation. We consider the media outlets that cared enough to share this story, law enforcement agencies, special investigators, city leaders, to be our friends, and we will be respectful of all. For everyone that has messaged or called to rejoice with us, we are so grateful for your concern." I'm sorry, I got this mute button moving across my screen when I'm reading. It's throwing me off. But anyway, covering some of my words. "But just as we made a commitment to not entertain negative thoughts during the time our daughter was missing, we surely will not entertain negative thoughts, statements, unvalidated opinions, or sheer ignorance at such a joyous time." Amen for that. We pray that those that doubt God's power, miracles, and the power of faith will be encouraged to draw closer to Him and learn the power of positivity, affirmations, and unwavering faith. We love each of you and are eternally indebted for your support and love. Bless the Russells. Be blessed, the Russells. So that was the mom's message to the public. There hasn't been like press conference since she's been found. The mom is letting us know the status of everything, saying that her daughter has returned home. Please give them peace, allow them to, deal with the situation. And that's understandable. That's understandable. I don't take issue with that a lot. Some people do. I've been seeing little commentary. I ain't been obsessing over this story, but I've watched a few things here or there. But anyway, after she was found, for sure, I was like, oh, okay, well, we good. And then it was like, oh, wait, there's more to this. So then the boyfriend, so I saw this afternoon that the boyfriend has also posted that his response to the whole thing. So that's a picture of Carlee and her boyfriend. And he said in his statement, I don't even know how to start off this post, but to only say thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for saving my girlfriend's life. Also, thank you to everyone who shared a picture, came out to the Hoover Met to help us with the search party, and who went and proceeded to tell other people about Carlee to bring more awareness to the story. I have been going nonstop since I received the call that she was missing on Thursday night. I know she would have done the same for me. So I wasn't going to give up until I saw her face again. I was straight tunnel vision. Even when I would get on social media and on my downtime and see some of the false allegations and assumptions about me having something to do with her abduction would have me discouraged at times, but I didn't give up and kept my faith, maybe. But anyway, that's the boyfriend, and he posted pictures of him and her. And I think when I did read that, I was like, this is kind of horrible that in these situations, there just begins to be so much speculation. And I notice it a little bit more when it's African-American people involved. It's kind of odd. It's kind of like Shanquilla and stuff, that people will start to take their opinions and turn them into rumors. Like all of a sudden, you know, people are saying it's the boyfriend and he literally has nothing to do with it. Like that, people don't realize how that affects people, especially in this world of social media. So thank God, you know, that this has gotten resolved to this level. So at least his name is clear. But the fact that people would throw his name out there in such a derogatory way in such a sensitive time, and he had nothing to do with it, at least as far as we know, is, you know, all is a ruse, but we don't know that. For the poll question, are you lost with what's happening with this story? Out of the 91% of you who've really been following it, 84% of you are lost. Still lost. Like me. Y'all not alone. 16% of y'all, I guess, got a handle on it. Yeah, I need to put y'all on camera so y'all can walk us through this, because I am still very, very much so like, I'm lost. What's happening here? And there's so many layers. So the only thing that's helped me get some level of clarity with this story, like trying to, as much as that's being released publicly, was the actual public notice from the Hoover Police Department. And so they actually gave a bit of a timeline, which to me was like, okay, this is helping me wrap my mind around this situation, because it is it's a little convoluted. It's a little secrecy, and a little convoluted. All the pieces ain't adding up. Okay, so anyway, their first post was missing person Carlee Russell has been located. At 10:45 p.m., the Hoover 911 center received a call that Carlee returned home to her residence. Police responded to the scene to investigate this latest development in the case. Hoover fire medics responded to the scene to assess Carlee and transported her to a local hospital for evaluation. Now, what that means, I don't know. Like, is that a physical evaluation? Was that a mental evaluation? Because I've seen some people speculating on that piece of it. Was it a mental health crisis, et cetera? I got a poll coming there. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Because when I was first hearing that she was still missing, I was like, why do people just be jumping all these rumors? But I don't know. It just seems a little suspicious now that she has returned, and supposedly and I don't want to get into too much of my commentary too early, but if she has returned and has the perpetrator been caught, like, did they return her and they were arrested on site, or are they still out on the loose? And if they're still out on the loose, shouldn't they be warning the public, like doing, I forgot what they call it. They don't call it an Amber Alert for adults, but whatever they call it for the adults, shouldn't they be sending that out, saying, look for this colored vehicle, license plate this, or this suspect, or wanted posters? Shouldn't we now be posting those things? And the fact that it's kind of like, oh, she home, don't worry about it, let us rest. Like, okay, but what about supposedly there's someone out here maybe snatching up people who are being good Samaritans and trying to save babies. Like, we're trying to save the babies, but now we're scared to save the babies because we don't know what's out there. So I don't know. That part is a little like, what's really happening here? So anyway, they said additional information will be provided when it becomes available. So they gave a more detailed timeline of the entire situation. It says the Hoover Police Department is releasing additional information on the safe return of Carlee Russell since the time of the 911 call at 9:34 p.m. on July 13th of 2023. The Hoover Police Department has expended every available resource into locating Carlee, and we celebrate with the Russell family on her safe return at approximately 10:44 p.m. on July 15th. The following information are facts we have been able to determine at this point in the investigation. We are still gathering and evaluating evidence in this case, which means, is there still a predator on the loose? You're still investigating unless there is no predator, unless now you're just trying to get clarity on what was self-contained and happening, if you know what I'm saying. I ain't trying to be pointing no fingers and allegations that of what she may have done to cause this, or if it was just she was the only player in the whole situation. Don't know that, but I'm just, if it was more to it, it's like, share that for public safety. I guess that's where I'm a little lost. Like, they're not sharing anything for public safety or to potentially find the person, unless they already know who the perpetrator is, if there is a perpetrator. That's a possibility. Carlee, so they're saying Carlee left work from a business at the Summit in Birmingham at approximately 8:20 p.m. She ordered food from a nearby business at the Colonnade and traveled there. We have worked to retrace all of her actions from the time she left the Colonnade until she called 911, and we are on our way to completing that task. So they're retracing all of her steps. So they said Carlee left work from a business at the Summit in Birmingham at approximately 8:20 p.m. She ordered food from the, did I just read that? Oh, I just read that. Okay, wait. This is what happened when I stay up late, because I'm a night owl, but I'm not really a night owl. Okay, at this point in the investigation, we have not been able to locate anyone with Carlee from the time she left the Colonnade until the 911 call was made. So they're saying that there was no one with her to their knowledge that they could see. So they then went on to say Carlee communicated on her cell phone with individuals known to her while on her path of travel up to the point of calling 911 at 9:34 p.m. The conversation with the 911 operator ended and Carlee called a relative. She went missing during that conversation sometime around 9:36 p.m. So literally like 2 minutes later. So that was a very short 911 call. And then I did hear someone say that the call that she had with the relative was like 90 seconds. So this is all very quick. After telling both the 911 operator and the relative that she had seen a male toddler in a diaper on the side of I-459 and was stopping to check on him, traffic camera footage was obtained, which depicted this portion of the incident, and that footage is still being analyzed as part of the investigation in conjunction with the 911 call to accurately determine the time frame. Carlee's 911 call remains the only timely report of a child on the interstate. So that was another thing that a lot of people were saying. And, you know, those of us who drive, etc., we know that when there's something happening, and especially something of that nature, usually there begins to be a bit of a commotion and you would see multiple cars pulled over, etc. It was dark. And of course, the footage that we have seen is from, you know, one of those grainy interstate cameras, and it's dark and blurry and everything else. But no one else pulled over. No one else seemed to have seen that. I was personally wondering, when it's that dark, how do you notice a toddler on the side of the road unless the toddler is literally in the middle of the interstate? I mean, I guess it's possible, but I don't know. It seemed very odd. And then you're driving like 60, 50 something to 60 something miles an hour or more. But anyway, so the Hoover police officers arrived on the scene with 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes of being dispatched, and you can see that on the camera, like it happened really quick. And several other officers arrived shortly behind. They located Carlee's wig, cell phone, and purse on the roadway near her vehicle, and Carlee's Apple Watch was in her purse. Investigators with the Crimes Against Persons Unit were notified, and the investigation immediately began in earnest, with numerous leads being followed. Many local, state, and federal agencies immediately offered assistance and provided personnel and other resources to the investigation. No stone was left unturned, and the investigation continued throughout the weekend. And we saw that. It says at 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 Center received a call from Carlee's residence that she had returned home on foot. Hoover police and fire responded to the residence where Carlee was located. She was immediately transported by the Hoover Fire Department to UAB Hospital to be evaluated and was treated and released. Detectives responded to the residence and to the UAB to take an initial statement from Carlee. The details of that statement are part of the ongoing investigation, which is expected to continue over the next few days. So they're continuing this investigation. It's not open and shut. This is very interesting. Yeah, questions. We still got more questions because this is still ongoing. And during the initial portion of the investigation, detectives were able to retrace nearly all of Carlee's steps until the point that she went missing, and are confident that will be continued. That will be the case and continue to be the case in this situation. So the Hoover Police Department continues to be extremely grateful for the outpouring of support from the Hoover community and beyond, and all of the assistance provided by law enforcement partners, which are too numerous to name. We rejoice with the Russell family as they continue to rest and recover from this situation, and ask for their wishes to be respected regarding privacy. This release contains all the information Hoover Police is able to release at this time. As we continue to investigate, we will release the information that is determined to be factual and pertinent to the public. So we got to wait until they ain't finna give us no rumors, no speculation. They're going to give us the facts, or the facts they want to share. When a press conference is scheduled, we will provide advance notice of the date, time, and location. So I guess, we'll have, later this week, we should have a press conference where maybe we will get some level of clarity. Now, the boyfriend, whether or not he was supposed to share this information, did say that she was fighting for her life. I'm trying to see the part where did it? I was trying to see. I don't know, y'all. It's late. I'm like, I know I saw it somewhere, but I thought it was in this post where he says that she was fighting for her life. I don't even know how to start off this post, but I'll only say thank to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for saving my girlfriend's life. Okay, he saved a life. God saved a life. Also, thank you to everyone who shared pictures, came out, Hoover met the search parties, who met to proceed. Carlee bring more awareness to her story. It's been going nonstop. She was missing Thursday night. Who know? She would have done the same for me. Until face again. Straight tunnel vision, false allegations. And okay, so he did say she was abducted because he's saying false allegations and assumption about me having something to do with her abduction would have me discouraged, because he didn't say with her being missing. He's saying abduction as if he's saying she was abducted. So, abducted. So okay, thank you. I'm handling my chat by myself, so I'm finna get to y'all comments. We might as well, y'all know the backstory. At first I was gonna go through the backstory as well, but y'all know the backstory. We'll do a short little piece of the press conference with the mom where she was describing, just in case someone hasn't seen that. But I'll give y'all that and I'll take a swig of water. If it'll play. Y'all regulars already know this stream, y'all be tripping. Okay, so I'm pull it in again.
Giving.
Okay,
and
it's playing.
joyful in nature.
She's a fighter too. She's joyful and she's laid back, but if it's a chance for her to put up a fight to try to save her life, she's gonna do everything she can to put up a fight. And I was telling my husband and I were talking today. She was just so happy, or yesterday. She was just so happy all the way up until I talked to her at 9:19. She was just so happy. And anybody that knows our daughter knows she loves food. And the fact that she was willing to give me her meal because they left her meal off meant a lot to me. And when she got home, I was gonna give her a big hug and tell her thank you, because I know you love your food. At one point, she got out the car. My daughter-in-law could hear her asking the child if they were okay. The child didn't respond, or at least she didn't hear her respond. He or she respond. And then she heard our daughter Carlee scream. And from there, all we could hear was noise, background noise in her phone, which we later found out was noise from the interstate. And so they have found her wig and her hat and her cell phone that were in close proximity to her car. So if anyone sees Carlee from the pictures that we have put out, just keep in mind, because her wig came off, her hair will be braided down to her scalp, so she won't have, long hair or anything like that is reflected on the picture. She pretty much has cheekbones like me. Pretty much our face is the same structure. So that's pretty much all the information we have. We do have some indication that there may have been a gray vehicle that a trucker saw that pulled in front of her car at some point as they were passing along the interstate.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
And that's all the information, or at least we have at this time. At some point, she got out.
So yeah, and then I have the footage of the of her car. So I did see someone. I was trying to scan through the comments real quick to pull. I'm gonna pull up some of y'all comments, but we do see her. The car with the flashing hazard lights is her. The question is, okay, if she saw the child, did she see the child and then she passed the child, got off the expressway, got back on the other side, and then came around, got back on? And so maybe she's slowly driving to see where the child is again. So I don't know. That part is a little strange. Some people mention the fact that, well, why is she driving so far? So, it has to be that she got off and got back on, because if you saw the child, she would be way past the child at this point. I don't know. It's like you got to pass the child in order to see the child. So, yeah, it's very odd. I don't know. That part is odd. I'm still lost. Again, questions. For this last poll that I did, do you believe the story that the public has been given? 78% of you say no, and 21% of you say yes. Yeah. I believe there's some things they're definitely keeping from the public, and with an ongoing investigation, that's understandable to some degree, but it's just it's the other stuff. Okay, I'm just jump to the live comments, but yeah, there's been speculation. I got a little bit of a enhancement to it. It's very blurry, but you can see a little bit of a close up. Actually, you see that's where you see the police like almost show up immediately. Like it wasn't long. And when I saw this part of the clip where I was like, dang, the police showed up pretty quick, like after she stopped. Pass it again. Here we go. And then the enhanced, I'm struggling to see, but from having people say, well, look at this, you can kind of see that she gets out the car or somebody gets out the car, they walk around to the passenger side. You can kind of see that there. It's grainy as hell, but there's somebody on the passenger. It's kind of like she walked around the car. You would assume it has to be her. They're saying there was no one else in the car with her. They've been able to verify that piece of it, but you just see her standing at the car, but you don't see anyone else there, at least from, again, this grainy video. Don't see the scuffle. Looks like one person standing there. Then it kind of looks like maybe she goes towards the front. No, she's on the side again. Yeah, it's really hard to tell what's happening. But the person is definitely not on the side. And you can see now, like you would think if there was a scuffle or something happening, because when you have situations like this, when people pull over, and I do it too, most of us do it. When people pull over, you're driving on the interstate highway and you see people pull over, you slow down. There's, a gaper's delay. And so you would think if that was happening, you got headlights shining, so you can pretty much see the people probably fairly well because her car was on, lights were on. If someone saw that scuffle, someone would have saw it because they would turn their head. You would think. I don't know. But again, they did say a trucker saw a gray car, was reported to have seen a gray car pull in front of her. Sometimes people, witnesses aren't really witnesses. They it's false memories, as they call it. Here's another poll for y'all. And then we're going to just jump to the comments. I think it's not too many for me to get through. Let me play this. I am going to play this. I'm a little all over the place, but I'm going to play this. For those of you who haven't seen, I don't want to assume that everyone's seen all this stuff, but this is a news conference where the mom talks about the situation as it happened and her perspective.
From her was Carlee asking the child if they were okay. So she evidently got out the car. She asked the child if they were okay, maybe 2 or 3 times. She didn't hear a response from a child on the other end. And she did hear a scream. And then she could tell there was maybe some type of shuffling, and the phone dropped to the ground. And from there, all she could hear was background noise. By that time, she was coming into the room to alert myself and my son what had just transpired. She kept the line open. She didn't hang up. I was yelling Carlee's name. We were all yelling Carlee's name. I picked up my phone to call Carlee's phone, even though I knew that line was open with our son's girlfriend. It was just like, I just felt, I felt I needed to try to do something to try to reach her, since she wasn't answering us when we were calling her name, and all we could just hear was like background noise. And from there, I came and got my husband from the bedroom and told him a brief synopsis of what had just transpired. We needed to throw on some clothes and go to her location. We do share our location through Life 360. And so it was pinging that she was at a particular street. However, when we got there, we did not see her car. And what we realized once the police came to where we were is that because her car was on the interstate, it was pinging at the street we went to because that street was right behind and below that interstate 459.
So that was the other piece the mom said, and I'm seeing some comments here as I'm browsing. The mom was saying, because there was speculation about the family being in a different spot, claiming they have found her or whatever, and why were they there instead of on the highway or whatever. It was because of the fact that the way that the life alert ping looked like she was on that street versus actually on the interstate. So that was how that happened. I think that's it. That's this a lot. I can't wait to rewatch my own replay of this and read all of y'all comments, because there's some interesting things here, but it's so many that my eyes are also getting lost, and it's late. So with that, I thank all of you who have joined me this evening. If you are new to this channel, this would be a great time to hit that subscribe button below, and also definitely hit that like button. And with that, until next time, follow me on all of my platforms. And if you want to get information on when I upload new videos, etc., hit that link in the pinned comment above or pinned chat above, and that'll let you know how to stay in touch with me. So with that, until next time, take care and be blessed. Peace.